I am pleased to welcome to the stage now Dr. Jeffrey Allen, Medical Advisor to Making Headway Foundation. Dr. Allen is also Otto and Marguerite Manley and Making Headway Foundation Endowed Professor of Pediatric Neuro-Oncology at NYU Langone. I said that right?
Yep.
Medical Center.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. So forgive me, but I'm not well. I'm just getting over babiosis infection, a tick-borne disorder that we seem to get in Westchester all too often, and it's equivalent to, as far as I'm concerned, malaria. So I'm just sweating up here on antibiotics, and it's not contagious. All right? And the good news is that Edward and Keith have said much of what I was going to share with you, so I can just go to the heart of it and be brief. I met Keith and Holly in 2000. They came to me with Holly's neurologic concerns, and we got an MRI scan and we identified the problem. And they weren't married at the time, but we sat down and we went over the process of making a diagnosis and deriving a treatment, and I guess Keith and Holly got it. They got it very quickly. And the way they solve problems, not just the first of where we get surgery, what kind of treatment we want, what kind of rehab we'll need, was just so impressive to me. And then, as things went well, Holly got her radiation and chemotherapy. She decided she was going to get married, of course, with Keith. This is something they had dreamed of in high school, I think. I don't know, maybe earlier than that. And so these were very young lovers. And I have to tell you, Keith, wherever you are, I mean, the commitment that Keith made to Holly throughout this, these terrible years was just the definition of what I would consider to be love and devotion. And so that's my message I wanted to share with you. Holly decided to stop the chemotherapy after about a year, and she wanted to have a baby. And that was a very healthy thing to do, and we thought it would, hopefully would be safe. And when you're pregnant, you can't get scans and that sort of thing. So we crossed our fingers, and 9 months later, Avery was born. And she was a real gift to everybody. I should tell you that at the clinic where I work, it's called Hassenfeld. I mean, Holly and our nursing staff, supportive staff, just bonded. And they really became part of a larger family. And her mother, I remember, coming very often, and her father with babysitting responsibilities. And it was just a wonderful thing to see. So after that, unfortunately, the tumor recurred. And then things spiraled. So now we're not only dealing with a malignant tumor, the spinal cord, but a recurrent one, which had seen some treatment before. So it took a lot of courage and fortitude to get your courage, to have a positive attitude. And then shortly after the second operation, for reasons that we're not sure, Holly lost movement and sensation in her lower extremities. She had difficulty, obviously, with all the functions of life and with being functions of motherhood. And we just had so much respect for her during this period. And she took advantage of the rehab services at Rusk as well. So she and Keith decided to live, I think, 3 or 4 blocks from the hospital, and she was back and forth very frequently. When things were not going well, I got on the phone and I called every colleague I knew who might be able to help, people at Duke, MGH, and whatever. And Holly said, let's go for it. And in the end, the tumor recurred again and again. And that's the story, and that's unfortunately too often the story. So with this lab that Ed Manley has talked about, and you have a brochure on your chairs, I think, or wherever. NYU, I think it's a big deal for NYU. It's committed a lot of space, resources, and ultimately $10 million. We're going to raise some of it to recruit some of the best scientists in the country. We have access to a brain tumor and spinal cord tumor bank. And we're going to try to decipher the molecular vulnerabilities of these tumors and develop some treatment. We have a person who is about a week from signing, who we think will be a major gift to the neuro-oncology scene in New York. And so I think it's a good time for New York, and for Keith and Ed, and for you, thank you very much for participating.